Jack Liverwell stands in the principal's office, his work shirt wrinkled from another 12-hour shift, watching his 8-year-old daughter Lily fidget in the chair beside him. The broken trophy sits on the desk between them, shattered glass catching fluorescent light like accusations. Principal Hayes explains the damage, the cost, the disappointment. Jack nods, pulls out his wallet with hands that smell like motor oil and exhaustion, and counts out bills he can't afford to lose. He doesn't look at Lily. He doesn't ask questions. He just pays, signs the papers, and shepherds his daughter toward the door. But Sarah Martinez, the new teacher observing from the corner, notices something everyone else missed. The confusion in Lily's eyes isn't guilt, it's fear of something else entirely. Before we dive in, make sure to hit subscribe and leave a comment. Where in the world are you watching from? The fluorescent lights in Roosevelt Elementary's main office buzz with the persistence of a dying insect. Jack Liverwell shifts his weight from one steel-toed boot to the other, the leather creaking against the silence that fills the space between Principal Hayes' words and his own measured breathing. As I was saying, Mr. Liverwell, the trophy case incident is quite serious. The broken pieces of what used to be the 1,987 state championship trophy glitter on Hayes' desk like evidence at a crime scene. Jack studies them without emotion, his calloused hands hanging loose at his sides. 12 hours at the auto shop, then this. The day refuses to end. Lily. His voice is quiet, controlled. Look at me. 8-year-old Lily Liverwell raises her head, dark eyes wide behind wire-rimmed glasses that slide down her small nose. She pushes them up with a nervous gesture that reminds Jack so much of Anna that his chest tightens. Did you break this? The question hangs in the air. Principal Hayes leans forward in his chair, fingers steepled. In the corner of the office, a woman Jack doesn't recognize sits with a notebook in her lap, observing. New teacher, probably. They come and go. Lily's mouth opens, closes. A fish drowning in air. It's a simple question, sweetheart. Jack keeps his tone gentle, but there's steel underneath. Yes or no? The other children saw her running away from the case right after it happened. Hayes interjects. Mrs. Patterson was very clear about what she witnessed. Jack doesn't break eye contact with his daughter. Lily's lower lip trembles and she nods once, quick and sharp like ripping off a bandage. Okay. He straightens, turns to Hayes. What's the damage? The trophy itself was donated by the class of '87, so there's sentimental value, but in terms of actual cost. Hayes shuffles through papers with the efficiency of a man who's had this conversation before. We're looking at roughly $300. That includes the case repair and replacement trophy. $300. Jack calculates quickly. Groceries for 2 weeks, or the electric bill, or Lily's art supplies she's been asking for. Not all three. He pulls out his wallet, brown leather, worn soft at the edges sand, counts out bills, 20s, 10s, 5s. The cash he'd planned to use for Lily's birthday next week. Mr. Liverwell, you don't have to pay the full amount today. We can work out a payment plan. No. The word comes out harder than he intended. No payment plans. He places the money on Hayes' desk, each bill deliberate and final. In his peripheral vision, he sees the woman in the corner lean forward slightly, pen poised over her notebook. Something about her stillness draws his attention. She's watching Lily, not him. Daddy, I'm sorry. Lily's voice is small, barely above a whisper. Jack crouches down to her eye level, his knees protesting after the long day. He smooths a strand of black hair away from her face, tucks it behind her ear. We'll talk about it at home. He stands, shakes Hayes' hand with the firm grip his own father taught him. Look a man in the eye, shake his hand like you mean it. Take responsibility for your actions. The principal's palm is soft, uncalloused. A desk worker's hand. Thank you for handling this so promptly, Mr. Liverwell. We appreciate parents who take accountability. Accountability. The word tastes bitter. Jack nods, places his hand on Lily's shoulder, and guides her toward the door. Mr. Liverwell? The voice stops him at the threshold. He turns back to find the woman from the corner standing now, Notebook closed. Sarah Martinez. I'm the new third-grade teacher. She extends her hand, and Jack shakes it briefly. Her grip is firm, direct. I was wondering if I could speak with you for just a moment. Hayes glances between them, then at his watch. Miss Martinez, perhaps this could wait until... It'll just take a minute. Her smile is polite but unyielding. Mr. Liverwell, could we step into the hallway? Jack hesitates. Lily tugs at his sleeve, eager to leave, to escape the weight of adult disappointment that seems to follow her everywhere lately. But something in Sarah Martinez's tone suggests this isn't optional. Lily, wait right here by the door. In the hallway, Sarah closes the office door behind them. The elementary school stretches out in both directions, walls lined with student artwork and motivational posters. Dream big. You can do anything. Empty promises in primary colors. I know this isn't my place, Sarah begins, but I was observing in the office today as part of my orientation, and I noticed something. Jack waits. He's learned that people fill silence if you let them. When you asked Lily if she broke the trophy, her first instinct wasn't to lie or make excuses. It was to look scared. Not guilty. Scared. She's 8. She's scared because she got in trouble. Maybe. Sarah's voice is careful, measured. But I've been teaching for 7 years, Mr. Liverwell. I've seen scared because I'm in trouble and scared because I'm protecting something. They look different. Jack studies her face. Sarah Martinez is younger than he expected, maybe early 30s, with intelligent brown eyes and dark hair pulled back in a practical ponytail. She wears the kind of clothes teachers wear: cardigan, sensible flats, a necklace that probably has some inspirational charm dangling from it. Are you suggesting my daughter is lying? I'm suggesting maybe she's not telling the whole truth, and maybe that's not entirely her fault. The hallway suddenly feels smaller. Jack can hear his own heartbeat, the distant sound of a janitor's cart squeaking down the corridor. Through the office door's glass panel, he can see Lily sitting in the same chair, swinging her legs. My daughter broke something. I paid for it. That's how the world works. Is it? Sarah steps closer, lowers her voice. Because in my experience, when kids cover for other kids, it's usually because they're more afraid of something than they are of getting in trouble themselves. Jack feels the familiar weight of exhaustion settling on his shoulders. 2 years since Anna died, 2 years of single parenting, 2 years of making decisions alone in the dark while Lily slept in the next room. He doesn't have energy for conspiracy theories from well-meaning teachers who think they understand his life. Miss Martinez, I appreciate your concern, but Tyler Brennan was in the hallway when it happened. The name stops Jack cold. Tyler Brennan, years old, 6th grade, and roughly twice Lily's size. The kid whose parents drive matching BMWs and whose backpack costs more than Jack makes in a day. So Tyler Brennan has been suspended twice this year for aggressive behavior. Once for pushing a kindergartner off the monkey bars, once for breaking another student's science project. Sarah's voice is steady, factual, like she's reading from a case file, and Mrs. Patterson, who supposedly saw Lily running from the scene, she's got glaucoma in her left eye and refuses to admit it. I've watched her mistake the flagpole for a student from across the playground. Jack stares at her. In the office, Hayes is shuffling papers, probably already moving on to the next crisis. Lily has stopped swinging her legs and is now sitting perfectly still, hands folded in her lap like she's been trained to disappear. Why are you telling me this? Sarah is quiet for a long moment. When she speaks, her voice is softer. Because I've been watching Lily in class, and she's careful, too careful. She apologizes for things that aren't her fault. She makes herself small, and kids don't learn to do that in a vacuum. The accusation hangs between them, unspoken but clear. Jack feels heat rise in his chest, a familiar anger that's been his companion since Anna's funeral. You don't know anything about my daughter, or me. You're right. I don't. Sarah doesn't back down. But I know what I saw in that office, and it wasn't a guilty kid. It was a scared one. Jack turns to go, then stops. Even if what you're saying is true, and I'm not saying it is, what am I supposed to do? March back in there and demand a refund? Tell Hayes that his witness is blind and my daughter is covering for the school bully? You could start by asking Lily what really happened. I did ask her. You asked her if she broke it. That's not the same thing. Through the glass, Jack watches his daughter. She's drawing invisible patterns on her jeans with her finger, lost in her own world. She looks so much like Anna at that age, a serious, thoughtful, carrying weight that doesn't belong to her. The office door opens and Hayes appears, checking his watch again. Everything all right out here? Fine, Jack says. We were just leaving. Sarah Martinez extends her hand again. It was nice meeting you, Mr. Liverwell, and Lily. She looks past him to his daughter, who's now standing in the doorway. I'm looking forward to having you in my art class this semester. Lily's face brightens slightly. Art class? Every Tuesday and Thursday. We're starting with watercolors next week. For the first time since they arrived at the school, Lily smiles. It's small, tentative, but real. Jack nods to Sarah, a gesture that might be acknowledgement or dismissal, then places his hand on Lily's shoulder again. Come on, kiddo. Let's go home. They walk through the empty hallways in silence, their footsteps echoing off lockers and bulletin boards. Outside, the October air carries the smell of burning leaves and the promise of winter. Jack's truck sits alone in the parking lot, rust spots blooming along the wheel wells like metal flowers. Lily climbs into the passenger seat and buckles her seatbelt without being asked. Jack starts the engine, lets it warm up while he stares at the school building. In one of the lit windows, he can see Sarah Martinez moving around her classroom, arranging desks and hanging posters. Daddy? Yeah, sweetheart? Are you mad at me? Jack looks at his daughter in the rearview mirror. She's pushed her glasses up again, and they're already sliding down. He makes a mental note to tighten the screws when they get home. No, baby, I'm not mad at you. But I broke the trophy. Accidents happen. It wasn't an accident. The words slip out so quietly Jack almost misses them. He turns in his seat to face her fully. What? Lily stares at her hands. It wasn't an accident. Tyler said if I didn't knock it over, he would. He would tell everyone that Mommy died because she was stupid. The air leaves Jack's lungs in a rush. The parking lot, the school, the entire world shrinks down to his daughter's face and the tears that are sliding down her cheeks behind her glasses. Oh, Lily. He unbuckles his seatbelt and reaches back to take her hands. They're so small, so cold. Tyler said that? She nods, not trusting her voice. And you believed him? Mrs. Patterson was coming, and Tyler said if I didn't do it, he would push me down and tell her I was being mean to him. And then he would tell everyone at school that Mommy died because she got sick because she was stupid, and I know that's not true, but what if other kids believed him? Jack closes his eyes. 2 years of therapy, of carefully explaining that Mommy got sick and it wasn't anyone's fault, of building up his daughter's fragile sense of security, undone by one cruel kid with too much power and no supervision. Lily, look at me. She does, glasses fogged with tears. Mommy died because she had cancer. Cancer is a disease that happens sometimes, and it's nobody's fault. Not hers, not mine, not yours. Do you understand? I know, but... And Tyler Brennan is a bully who says mean things because he doesn't know how to feel important any other way. You don't protect bullies, baby. Ever. But now everyone thinks I'm bad. No. Jack's voice is firm. Everyone thinks you made a mistake. There's a difference. He starts to say more, then stops. Through the windshield he can see Sarah Martinez locking up her classroom heading to her car. She moves with purpose, like someone who knows exactly where she's going and why. Jack makes a decision. Lily, I need you to wait here for just a minute, okay? Lock the doors after I get out. He catches Sarah in the parking lot, jogging slightly to reach her before she drives away. She rolls down her window when she sees him coming. Mr. Liverwell, you were right. The words come out harder than he intended. Tyler Brennan was bullying her. Threatened to spread lies about her mother if she didn't take the blame. Sarah's expression doesn't change, but something in her eyes softens. I'm sorry. I hoped I was wrong. What do I do now? It's the question he's been asking himself for 2 years, about everything from braiding hair to explaining death to remembering to pack lunch money. What do I do now? You go back in there tomorrow and you tell Hayes what really happened. And if he doesn't believe me? If he says kids make up stories to get out of trouble? Sarah looks past him toward the truck, where Lily is visible through the back window, small and still and waiting. Then you make sure Lily knows that you believe her, that you're on her side, that she doesn't have to protect anyone but herself. Jack nods, starts to walk away, then turns back. The art class. She's really excited about it. I know. She told me during lunch yesterday. She wants to paint pictures of her mom. The words hit him like a physical blow. He'd forgotten that Anna used to paint watercolors, just like Sarah mentioned. Flowers and trees, and sometimes portraits of Lily when she was sleeping. The paintings are still in their bedroom closet, wrapped in tissue paper that Jack can't bring himself to unwrap. "Thank you," he says finally, "for paying attention." Sarah Martinez smiles, and for the first time since Anna died, Jack doesn't feel quite so alone in the dark. He walks back to the truck, where Lily is waiting with her face pressed against the window. She unlocks the door when he approaches, and he slides behind the wheel. "We're going back tomorrow," he says. "Are we in more trouble?" "No, baby. We're going to tell the truth." As they drive home through streets lined with maple trees dropping their leaves like golden confetti, Jack thinks about truth and lies, and the weight of protecting people who don't deserve protection. In the passenger seat, Lily hums quietly to herself a song Anna used to sing while she painted. The sun is setting behind the mountains, painting the sky in watercolor washes of pink and orange. Beautiful and temporary and worth remembering. The next morning arrives gray and reluctant, like it doesn't want to face what's coming. Jack stands at the Kit Liverwell counter, spreading peanut butter on bread with mechanical precision while coffee percolates in the ancient machine Anna bought at a garage sale 6 years ago. It still works, mostly, though it makes sounds like it's dying. Lily sits at the small table, pushing Cheerios around in her bowl. She's dressed for school jeans, with a small hole in the knee, sneakers that light up when she walks, a purple sweater Anna knitted the winter before she got sick. The sweater is getting too small, pulling tight across Lily's shoulders, but Jack can't bring himself to suggest they retire it. "I don't want to go." Her voice is quiet, matter of fact. Not whining, just stating a truth. "I know." Jack wraps her sandwich in wax paper, the way his own mother used to do. He's tried plastic bags, but they make the bread soggy, and Lily deserves better than soggy sandwiches. What if Tyler gets mad? What if he does? Lily looks up from her cereal, surprised by the question. Jack sits down across from her, his coffee mug warm between his palms. What's the worst thing that could happen if Tyler gets mad? She considers this with the seriousness of a child who's learned that the world doesn't always make sense. He could tell people mean things about Mommy, and what would you say if someone asked you about it? That it's not true? That's right. And what would I say? That it's not true. And what would Ms. Martinez say? A small smile tugs at the corner of Lily's mouth. That it's not true. So Tyler can say whatever he wants, but that doesn't make it real. You know what's real, right? Lily nods. Mommy loved us. She was smart and kind, and she painted beautiful pictures. And she got sick, but that wasn't her fault. That's right, baby. That's what's real. Jack finishes his coffee, rinses the mug in the sink. Outside, school buses are beginning their morning routes, yellow beacons moving through neighborhoods like clockwork. He checks his watch 7:30. Hayes will be in his office by 8. You ready? Lily slides off her chair, shoulders the purple backpack that's almost too big for her frame. At the door, she stops and looks up at him. Daddy, what if Principal Hayes doesn't believe us? Jack crouches down, helps her zip her jacket. Then we'll figure out what to do next, together. Promise? Promise. The drive to Roosevelt Elementary takes 12 minutes through residential streets lined with houses that look like they belong in a catalog manicured lawns, 2-car garages, porches decorated with seasonal wreaths. Jack and Lily's apartment complex doesn't have porches or lawns, just parking spaces and a dumpster that's always overflowing. In the school parking lot, Jack turns off the engine and sits for a moment, gathering himself. Through the windshield, he can see kids streaming toward the building, backpacks bouncing, voices carrying on the morning air. Normal Tuesday morning chaos. There's Miss Martinez. Lily points toward the main entrance, where Sarah stands greeting students. She's wearing a different cardigan, tutti green instead of blue, but the same practical shoes and purposeful smile. Want to say hi before we go to the office? Lily nods eagerly. They walk across the parking lot together, Lily's light-up shoes flashing with each step. Sarah notices them approaching and waves. Good morning, you two. Ready for another beautiful day of learning? Her tone is cheerful, teacher-bright, but Jack catches the question in her eyes. We're going to see Mr. Hayes first, Lily announces, to tell the truth about the trophy. That sounds like a very brave thing to do. Daddy says being brave doesn't mean you're not scared. It means you do the right thing even when you are scared. Sarah glances at Jack, something unreadable passing across her face. Your daddy sounds very wise. He is. He fixes cars and makes good sandwiches, and he never gets mad when I have bad dreams. Jack feels heat rise in his cheeks. Lily, we should probably... And he reads to me every night, even when he's really tired from work. Last night we read about a dragon who was afraid of flying. But then he remembered that being scared doesn't mean you can't do things. That sounds like an excellent book. Sarah's smile is genuine now, warm. I'd love to hear more about it during art class today. Will we really do watercolors? We will. I brought in some special paper that makes the colors spread in interesting ways. Lily practically bounces with excitement. Jack marvels at her resilience, her ability to find joy even in the shadow of difficult things. Anna had been the same, wayfinding beauty in hospital rooms, making games out of chemotherapy appointments, painting flowers when the world felt gray. We should probably go, Jack says gently. Sarah nods. Good luck, both of you. As they walk toward the main office, Lily slips her hand into Jack's. Her palm is warm, slightly sticky from breakfast. He squeezes gently. The office is busier this morning, secretaries answering phones, parents dropping off forgotten lunchboxes, teachers checking mailboxes. Principal Hayes emerges from his inner office, holding a coffee mug that reads, World's Best Principal in Comic Sans font. Mr. Liverwell, Lily, what brings you back so soon? His tone is friendly but puzzled. Jack takes a breath. We need to talk about what really happened with the trophy. Hayes's eyebrows rise slightly. I thought we resolved that yesterday. No, sir, we paid for it yesterday, but we didn't resolve it. The office noise seems to dim around them. One of the secretaries glances up from her computer, curious. Perhaps we should step into my office. Hayes's inner sanctum looks the same as yesterday: fluorescent lights, motivational posters, the lingering smell of instant coffee and bureaucracy. He settles behind his desk while Jack and Lily take the same chairs they occupied 24 hours ago. Now then, what seems to be the issue? Jack looks at Lily, who's sitting very straight, hands folded in her lap. Lily has something she needs to tell you. Mr. Hayes, Lily begins, her voice small but steady. I didn't break the trophy because I wanted to. Tyler Brennan made me do it. Hayes leans forward. Made you do it? How? He said if I didn't knock it over, he would push me down and tell you I was being mean to him. And then he would tell everyone at school that my mommy died because she was stupid. The words hang in the air like smoke. Hayes's expression shifts from skeptical to concerned. That's a very serious accusation, Lily. It's not an accusation, Jack says quietly. It's what happened. Mr. Liverwell, surely you understand that children sometimes embellish stories when they're trying to get out of trouble. Lily's not in trouble. She's already been punished for something she didn't do wrong. Hayes picks up a pen, clicks it repeatedly. The sound is sharp, rhythmic, annoying. Even if what Lily is saying is true, she still chose to damage school property rather than come to an adult for help. She's 8 years old, and a kid twice her size was threatening her with lies about her dead mother. What would you have done? The question is direct, challenging. Hayes stops clicking his pen. I would have come to a teacher. Which teacher? Mrs. Patterson, who didn't see what actually happened but was quick to blame my daughter? Or maybe one of the teachers who've been watching Tyler Brennan bully other kids all year without doing anything about it? Mr. Liverwell, I think you're being unfair. Am I? Tyler's been suspended twice this year for aggressive behavior. How many times has he been suspended for bullying kids into taking blame for his actions? Hayes is quiet for a long moment. Through his office window, Jack can see the school courtyard where kids are arriving for the day, laughing and chasing each other around the flagpole. Normal kid problems, who to sit with at lunch, whether they remembered their homework, if their best friend is still their best friend. What exactly are you asking me to do? I want Tyler to face consequences for his actions. I want the money I paid yesterday refunded. And I want my daughter to know that adults will protect her when she tells the truth. That's a lot to ask based on one child's word against another's. Jack feels the familiar anger rising, the helpless rage that's been his companion since Anna's diagnosis. But this time, it's different. This time, he's not facing cancer or medical bills or insurance companies. This time, he's facing someone who can actually fix something. Then don't take just one child's word. Ask Ms. Martinez what she observed yesterday. Check with other teachers about Tyler's behavior. Look at the pattern instead of just this one incident. Ms. Martinez? She was in your office yesterday. She saw how scared Lily was. She's the one who suggested there might be more to the story. Hayes picks up his phone, dials an extension. Could you ask Miss Martinez to come to my office, please? Thank you. They wait in silence. Lily swings her legs nervously, the sound of her shoes against the chair rhythmic and soothing. Jack studies Hayes's diplomas on the wall: education degree, administration certificate, 20 years of experience managing other people's children. Sarah Martinez knocks and enters, notebook in hand. She looks calm, professional, unsurprised to be here. You wanted to see me? Miss Martinez, Mr. Liverwell says you had some observations about yesterday's incident. Sarah glances at Jack, then at Lily. May I sit? Of course. She settles into the chair beside Jack, opens her notebook to a page filled with neat handwriting. Yesterday, I observed Lily's reaction when asked about the trophy. Her body language and responses were consistent with fear rather than guilt. When Mr. Liverwell asked if she broke it, her first instinct was to look scared, not defensive. That's interesting, but hardly conclusive. No, but combined with other factors, it suggests a pattern. Sarah turns a page. Tyler Brennan has exhibited bullying behavior in multiple settings this year. I've witnessed him intimidating younger students on 3 separate occasions in the past month alone. You documented this? I did. I also spoke with Mrs. Patterson about her eyesight concerns. She's been struggling with depth perception and has misidentified students from a distance before. Hayes looks uncomfortable. Mrs. Patterson is a dedicated teacher. She is. But she's also proud, and she may not realize how much her vision has deteriorated. It's not malicious, but it's not reliable either. Jack watches Sarah present her case with calm professionalism. She's not emotional or accusatory. She's simply laying out facts, letting them speak for themselves. Even if all of this is true, Hayes says slowly, Tyler's parents are involved in the school community. They donate significantly to our programs. This kind of accusation is exactly the kind of thing that should be taken seriously, regardless of whose parents write checks. The words come out sharper than Jack intended. Hayes stiffens. Mr. Liverwell, I understand you're upset, but we need to consider all stakeholders. The stakeholder you should be considering is my 8-year-old daughter, who was terrorized by a bully and then punished for it. Sarah clears her throat softly. If I may suggest a compromise? Both men look at her. Why don't we call Tyler down here and ask him about what happened? Not in an accusatory way, just to get his version of events. Kids his age usually tell the truth when asked directly by adults. Hayes considers this. I suppose that would be appropriate. He picks up his phone again, asks for Tyler Brennan to be brought to the office. While they wait, Lily slides her hand into Jack's again. Her palm is sweaty now, nervous. "It's okay, baby," he whispers. "Just tell the truth." Tyler Brennan arrives 5 minutes later, escorted by a secretary. He's bigger than Jack remembered, tall for 10, with the kind of confidence that comes from never being told no. His clothes are expensive, his shoes pristine. He looks around the office with mild curiosity, like he's checking out a museum exhibit. "Tyler, please have a seat." Hayes gestures to an empty chair. "We're just trying to understand what happened yesterday with the trophy case. The little kid broke it." Tyler's voice is matter-of-fact, dismissive. He doesn't look at Lily. "I saw her do it. Can you tell us exactly what you saw?" "She was running down the hall really fast and she crashed into the case. Glass went everywhere." Sarah leans forward slightly. "Where were you when this happened, Tyler?" "By the water fountain." "The water fountain is around the corner from the trophy case. How did you see Lily crash into it?" Tyler's confidence wavers slightly. I heard the noise and came to look." "So you didn't actually see her run into the case?" "Well, she was there when I got there, standing by all the broken glass." "Was anyone else there?" "Mrs. Patterson came right after I did." "Did you say anything to Lily?" Tyler glances around the room, seeming to notice for the first time that this isn't a routine check-in. "Like what?" "Anything at all. Did you two have a conversation?" "I don't remember." Sarah makes a note in her book. "Tyler, yesterday before the trophy broke, did you and Lily talk at all?" "Maybe." "What did you talk about?" "I don't know, just stuff." Hayes jumps in. "Tyler, this is important. We need you to think carefully and tell us exactly what happened." "I told you what happened. She broke it." "But how did it break exactly?" Sarah's voice is gentle, patient. "Was it an accident? Was she running and didn't see it?" Tyler shifts in his chair. "Yeah, it was an accident." "So she didn't mean to break it?" "No, she was being clumsy." "Tyler," Jack says quietly, and the boy looks at him for the first time. "My daughter says you threatened her. Is that true?" "I didn't threaten anybody. She says you told her to break the trophy, and if she didn't, you would spread lies about her mother." Tyler's face goes red. I didn't say that." "What did you say?" "Nothing. I didn't say anything." The outburst hangs in the air. Tyler realizes he shouted, looks around the room at the adults watching him. His composure cracks visibly. "Tyler," Hayes says carefully, "did you ask Lily to break the trophy?" It was just a joke." "What kind of joke?" I said maybe she should bump into it, like, as a dare. But I didn't think she would actually do it." Sarah writes something down. "And what did you say would happen if she didn't do the dare?" Tyler looks at his shoes. They're new, expensive basketball shoes that probably cost more than Jack makes in a week. I might have said some stuff about her mom, but I was just kidding around." "What kind of stuff?" "Just stupid stuff. I didn't mean it." Jack feels Lily's hand tighten in his. He wants to reach across the space between them and shake this kid, make him understand the weight of his words, the damage he's done. But he stays still, lets the adults handle it. "Tyler," Hayes says firmly, "what exactly did you say about Lily's mother?" I said maybe she died because she was dumb or something, but I was just trying to be funny." The words hit the room like a physical blow. Lily makes a small sound, barely audible. Jack closes his eyes, counts to 10 in his head. "That wasn't funny, Tyler," Sarah says quietly. "That was cruel. I didn't mean it. I was just messing around." "But you understand that Lily's mother really did die, right? That this isn't something to joke about?" Tyler nods miserably. "I know. I'm sorry." "Are you sorry you said it, or sorry you got caught?" The question comes from Lily, spoken so quietly that everyone has to strain to hear. Tyler looks at her directly for the first time, and something in his expression shifts. "I'm sorry I said it. It was mean." Hayes clears his throat. "Tyler, I'm going to need to call your parents. This kind of behavior is serious, and there will be consequences." "Are you going to suspend me?" "We'll discuss that with your parents." Tyler starts to cry, then not the manipulative tears of a child trying to avoid punishment, but the real, messy tears of someone who's realized they've done something truly wrong. "I'm really sorry, Lily. I didn't want you to get in trouble. I was mad about something else, and I took it out on you." Lily looks at her father, then back at Tyler. "It's okay, but you can't say mean things about people's moms who died. It makes kids really sad." "I won't. I promise." Hayes dismisses Tyler with instructions to go to the nurse's office until his parents arrive. After he leaves, the office feels lighter, like someone opened a window. "Well," Hayes says finally, "this certainly changes things." "Yes, it does." Jack's voice is steady. "I'd like that refund now." "Of course. And Lily, I owe you an apology. You were put in an impossible situation, and you did the best you could." Lily nods solemnly. "Will Tyler get in big trouble?" "He'll face appropriate consequences for his actions." "But Tyler's not a bad kid. He made bad choices. Sometimes people can learn from their mistakes and become better. Like in my dragon book. The dragon was mean at first, but then he learned to be nice." Exactly like that. Hayes processes the refund while Sarah walks Jack and Lily to the door. In the hallway, Lily skips ahead slightly, her light-up shoes flashing against the linoleum. "Thank you," Jack says to Sarah, "for believing her, for paying attention." That's what teachers do, at least what they should do. Not all of them. No, but some of us try. They walk in comfortable silence until they reach the main entrance. Outside, the morning sun has burned through the clouds, turning the gray day bright. "Miss Martinez?" Lily calls back. "Are we still doing watercolors today?" "Absolutely. I'm thinking we should paint something beautiful. Maybe flowers?" "Can I paint the flowers Mommy used to grow in our old garden?" Sarah's smile is gentle. "That sounds perfect." As they drive away from the school, Jack feels something he hasn't experienced in 2 years, the sense that he's not facing the world alone, that there are people who will stand up for his daughter, who will see her clearly and protect her when she needs protection. "Daddy?" "Yeah, baby?" "I'm glad we told the truth." "Me too. Even though it was scary?" "Especially because it was scary." In the rearview mirror, he can see Roosevelt Elementary getting smaller, less imposing. Just a building full of kids and adults trying to figure out how to be human together. The radio plays softly as they drive home, something instrumental and peaceful. Through the windows, the world looks different than it did yesterday. The same trees, the same houses, the same sky, but lighter somehow. More possible. 3 weeks later, Jack stands in the elementary school hallway again, but this time the fluorescent lights don't feel harsh. They illuminate student artwork, covering every available wall, space watercolor flowers in impossible colors, crayon drawings of families with stick figure smiles, construction paper collages that somehow capture the chaos and joy of being 8 years old. He's here for parent-teacher conferences, clutching a cup of coffee from the PTA volunteers and trying not to look as nervous as he feels. Anna had always handled these meetings, armed with thoughtful questions and the kind of maternal confidence that made teachers take notes. Jack just hopes he doesn't say anything stupid. "Mr. Liverwell?" Sarah Martinez appears at the end of the hallway, moving toward him with the same purposeful stride he remembers from their first meeting. She's wearing a different cardigan burgundy this time, and there's something different about her face. Lighter, maybe, less guarded. "Miss Martinez, thanks for fitting me in." "Of course. Lily's one of my favorite students." They walk toward her classroom, past bulletin boards decorated with Halloween artwork and announcements for the upcoming fall festival. The building feels different in the evening, quieter, more intimate. Like a house after the party guests have gone home. Sarah's classroom is warm and inviting, with round tables instead of rows of desks and plants hanging from the ceiling in macrame holders. The walls are covered with student work, and Jack finds himself scanning for Lily's contributions. "There." Sarah points to a corner where several watercolor paintings are displayed. She's been quite prolific. Jack walks over to examine the paintings. They're all flowers, roses, sunflowers, daisies. Some species he can't identify rendered in bold strokes of pink and yellow and purple. The technique is clearly that of a child, but there's something in them that takes his breath away. Joy, maybe, or hope. She painted these in art class? Some of them. But she's been coming in during lunch recess too, asking if she can work on special projects. I finally just gave her a corner of the room and her own set of supplies. How much do I owe you for the supplies? Sarah waves the question away. The school has a budget for art materials. Besides, I've never seen a kid so excited about watercolors. She talks about them constantly. Jack continues studying the paintings. In one, he recognizes the roses Anna used to grow in their old garden. Small house they rented before Lily was born, with the tiny backyard where Anna spent hours nurturing a stubborn flower bed. He thought Lily was too young to remember those flowers, but here they are, captured in careful brushstrokes and impossible colors. She's talented. She is. But more than that, she's found something that makes her happy. That's not always easy for kids who've been through trauma. Jack settles into one of the small chairs across from Sarah's desk. His knees bump against the table edge, and he's reminded of how different the adult world is from the child world, how much adaptation is required to move between them. How is she doing? Really? Sarah opens a folder filled with examples of Lily's work math worksheets, reading comprehension exercises, creative writing assignments. Everything is neat, careful, correct. Academically, she's doing very well. Above grade level in reading, solid in math, exceptional in creative subjects. She follows directions, turns in assignments on time, participates appropriately in class discussions. But she's still very careful, almost too careful. She raises her hand for permission to sharpen her pencil. She apologizes when other kids bump into her. She makes herself small. Jack nods. He's seen it at home, the way Lily asks permission for things that don't require permission, the way she flinches when he raises his voice even slightly, the way she seems to be perpetually braced for disappointment. The incident with Tyler helped, I think. She's been a little more assertive since then. Still cautious, but more willing to speak up when something isn't fair. How is Tyler doing? Sarah's expression grows thoughtful. Better, actually. His parents were not pleased about the bullying incident. He was suspended for 3 days, and they've enrolled him in counseling. He wrote Lily a very sincere apology letter. She pulls a piece of paper from the folder, childish handwriting on lined school paper. Dear Lily, I am sorry I was mean to you and said bad things about your mom. My counselor says sometimes when people are sad or mad about their own problems they take it out on other people, and that is what I did. It was wrong and I won't do it again. I hope you can forgive me. Your friend Tyler. Jack reads it twice. His own problems? His parents are going through a difficult divorce. Apparently it's been contentious, and Tyler's been acting out at home as well as school. Not an excuse for his behavior, but it provides context. Lily forgave him? She did. They're not exactly friends, but they can be in the same room without tension. Actually, he's been quite protective of her since the incident. Yesterday he told another kid to stop being loud when Lily was trying to concentrate on a test. Jack tries to imagine this Tyler Brennan as protector instead of predator. Maybe Hayes was right about people learning from their mistakes. There's something else I wanted to discuss. Sarah pulls out another folder, this one thicker. I've been thinking about Lily's artistic abilities. Have you considered enrolling her in additional art classes? You mean like private lessons? There's a community art center downtown that offers classes for kids. Saturdays, very affordable. They work with different media, painting, sculpture, even some basic photography. I think Lily would thrive there. Jack considers this. Saturdays are his only full day off, usually spent catching up on laundry and grocery shopping and all the domestic tasks that pile up during the week. But the excitement in Lily's paintings, the way her face lights up when she talks about mixing colors. Do they have financial assistance? They do. And I'd be happy to write a recommendation letter highlighting Lily's talent and enthusiasm. That's very kind of you. It's not kindness, it's recognition of ability. Lily has a gift, Mr. Liverwell. It would be a shame not to nurture it. They discuss Lily's progress in other subjects, review upcoming projects and field trips, talk about strategies for helping her continue to build confidence. Sarah is thorough, professional, clearly invested in her students' success. But there's something else in her manner, a warmth that goes beyond teacher duty. "Can I ask you something?" Jack says as they're wrapping up. "Why did you speak up that day? About the trophy incident? You barely knew us." Sarah is quiet for a moment, organizing papers that don't need organizing. "I've been teaching for 7 years. I've seen a lot of kids get blamed for things they didn't do, usually because it's easier for adults to accept simple explanations than to dig for complex truths. But you dug." "I observed. There's a difference." She looks up at him. "Also, my brother was bullied in elementary school, severely. Teachers and administrators knew it was happening, but the bully's family had influence in the district, so nothing was done. My brother learned not to tell adults when bad things happened to him because adults couldn't be trusted to help." "What happened to him?" "He's okay now. A social worker, actually. But it took years of therapy to undo the damage of feeling invisible and unprotected." Jack understands. The weight of being responsible for someone small and vulnerable. The fear of failing them when they need you most. "I couldn't let that happen to Lily. Not when I had the power to speak up." "Thank you for having that power and choosing to use it." They stand to leave, and Jack realizes he doesn't want the conversation to end. Not because there's more to discuss about Lily's education, but because talking to Sarah feels easy, natural. Like conversations he used to have with Anna about everything and nothing. "Mr. Liverwell?" "Jack, please." "Jack, there's one more thing. The fall festival is next weekend. You probably got the flyer in Lily's backpack?" "Right. The carnival thing. It's a fundraiser for the art program. Games, food trucks, a silent auction. Lily's been asking if you're planning to come." I told her we'd see. I'm not really a crowd person. Neither am I usually. But it might be good for Lily to see you participating in school community events. Show her that she belongs here." Jack nods. "We'll be there." "Good. And Jack? If you need any help navigating the whole elementary school social scene, I know it can be intimidating for parents who aren't used to it." "Are you offering to be my festival guide?" Sarah smiles, and something in the gesture makes Jack realize she's nervous too. "I suppose I am." They walk out together into the October evening that smells like wood smoke and dying leaves. The parking lot is nearly empty, except for their 2 cars and a maintenance truck. "Ms. Martinez?" "Sarah. Sarah, can I ask you something else?" "Of course. Do you think she's going to be okay? Lily, in the long run." Sarah stops walking, considers the question seriously. "I think Lily is one of the strongest kids I've ever met. She's been through something terrible, and she's still kind and creative and hopeful. That takes real resilience. Sometimes I worry that I'm not enough. That she needs, I don't know, someone who knows how to braid hair properly. Someone who understands girl things." "Jack." Sarah's voice is gentle but firm. "You're raising a daughter who speaks up for herself, who tells the truth even when it's scary, who finds beauty in the world despite losing her mother. You're doing something right." They reach their cars, parked side by side. Jack fumbles with his keys, suddenly reluctant to end the conversation. "The art center you mentioned, do you have their information?" "I'll email it to you tonight, along with some other resources that might be helpful. There's a grief support group for kids at the community center, and a single parents group that meets monthly. I'm not really a group person either. Neither was I, until I realized that sometimes we all need people who understand what we're going through." Jack looks at her more carefully. "You have kids?" "No, but I have experience with loss. My mom died when I was 12. Cancer, like Lily's mother." The words hang between them, connecting past and present in ways Jack hadn't expected. "I'm sorry." "Thank you. It was a long time ago, but some things you never really get over. You just learn to carry them differently." "Is that why you became a teacher?" "Partly. Kids who are hurting need adults who recognize pain and know how to help heal it." A comfortable silence settles over them. In the distance, Jack can hear traffic on the main road, the ordinary sounds of people going about their evening routines. Normal life, continuing its rhythm. I should get home. Lily will be wondering where I am. Of course, give her my regards. And Jack, thank you for trusting me with her education. I don't take that responsibility lightly. As Jack drives home through familiar streets, he thinks about trust and second chances and the unexpected ways people enter your life when you need them most. 3 weeks ago, Sarah Martinez was a stranger, observing from the corner of a principal's office. Tonight, she feels like something he hasn't had in 2 years, an ally. At home, Lily is waiting at the Kit Liverwell table with her homework spread out in neat piles. Mrs. Kowalski from next door sits nearby, reading a romance novel with a shirtless man on the cover. "How did it go, honey?" Mrs. Kowalski asks, not looking up from her book. "Good, really good." "Ms. Martinez is nice, right, Daddy?" Lily looks up from her math worksheet. "She is? She said I can come to art class during lunch every day if I want. And she's going to teach me about mixing colors to make new colors." "That sounds wonderful." Mrs. Kowalski gathers her things, accepts Jack's thanks and the $20 he pays her for babysitting. After she leaves, Jack and Lily settle into their evening routine dinner, bath, story time. Tonight they read about a rabbit who learns to be brave, and Lily falls asleep halfway through, curled against Jack's side with her thumb in her mouth. He carries her to bed, tucks the covers around her small body, and stands in the doorway watching her sleep. In the dim light from the hallway, she looks so much like Anna, it takes his breath away. But she also looks like herself, Lily Liverwell, artist and truth-teller, survivor of loss and finder of beauty. His phone buzzes with a text message. Sarah Martinez, sharing the Arts Center information as promised. But there's also a personal note. "Thank you for a lovely conversation tonight. See you at the festival." Jack stares at the message for a long moment before responding, looking forward to it. And for the first time in 2 years, he realizes he actually means it. The Roosevelt Elementary Fall Festival transforms the school grounds into something magical. String lights crisscross between trees, food trucks line the parking lot, and carnival games occupy every available space. The air smells like funnel cake and apple cider, and children's laughter mingles with the distant sound of a bluegrass band performing on a makeshift stage. Jack stands at the edge of it all, holding Lily's hand and trying to remember how to be social. It's been 2 years since he attended any kind of community event, 2 years of keeping his head down and focusing on the daily mechanics of survival. The crowd feels overwhelming, too many voices, too many expectations, too many opportunities to say the wrong thing. "Daddy, look!" Lily points toward a ring toss game where enormous stuffed animals hang as prizes. "Can we try that one?" "Sure, baby." They make their way through clusters of families, past the cakewalk and the face-painting station. Jack recognizes some faces from school pickup, other parents he's nodded to but never really spoken with. A few wave, and he waves back, grateful for small gestures that require no conversation. "Mr. Liverwell! Lily!" Tyler Brennan appears beside them, flanked by a woman who must be his mother. She's tall, blonde, wearing the kind of casual clothes that cost more than Jack makes in a week, but her smile seems genuine, if slightly nervous. "Hi, Tyler," Lily says, and Jack is proud of how normal she sounds. "This is my mom," Tyler announces. "Mom, this is Lily and her dad. I'm Jennifer Brennan." She extends her hand to Jack. "I've been hoping to meet you, Jack Liverwell." They shake hands while the kids examine the ring toss setup. Jennifer's grip is firm, her expression serious. "I owe you an apology," she says quietly. "For Tyler's behavior and for how long it took us to realize what was happening. Kids make mistakes. This was more than a mistake. Tyler was cruel, and we should have seen the signs earlier." She glances at her son, who's now showing Lily the best technique for tossing rings. "We've made some changes at home. Counseling, consistent consequences, more supervision. It won't happen again." Jack studies her face, looking for the entitled defensiveness he'd expected from Tyler's mother. Instead, He sees genuine remorse and the exhaustion of a parent trying to do better. I appreciate that. Tyler talks about Lily all the time now, how brave she is, how good she is at art. I think she's been good for him. Showed him what real strength looks like. She's pretty amazing. So are you. Jennifer's voice is quiet, sincere. What you did? Standing up for her like that? Not every parent would have fought so hard. Before Jack can respond, Tyler bounds over with a giant stuffed elephant that's nearly as big as he is. I won. Mom, can I give it to Lily? Jennifer looks surprised. Tyler, that's very sweet, but you worked hard for that prize. I want her to have it. She likes elephants. Jack starts to protest it's too much. Too generous, but Lily's face is glowing with delight, and Tyler looks genuinely pleased to give rather than receive. If it's okay with your mom, Jack says finally. It's more than okay. Jennifer's eyes are bright with unshed tears. Tyler, that's a very kind thing to do. They part ways with promises to say hello at school, Tyler carrying the elephant to Lily while she peppers him with questions about carnival strategy. Jack watches them walk away, struck by the strange turns life takes. 3 weeks ago, Tyler was a villain in their story. Tonight, he's a reformed bully, learning to be generous. Jack. Sarah appears through the crowd, carrying a paper boat filled with nachos and wearing a Roosevelt Elementary t-shirt that somehow manages to look fashionable. Her hair is down instead of pulled back, and she's traded her usual cardigan for a denim jacket. You came. Her smile is warm, genuine. I promised I would. And Lily seems to be enjoying herself. They look over to where Lily is attempting to balance on Tyler's shoulders while holding the enormous elephant, both kids laughing as they wobble dangerously. She's been talking about this all week, asked me to braid her hair special for tonight. How did that go? Jack touches the crooked braid trailing down Lily's back. YouTube tutorial. 3rd attempt. It looks perfect. It looks like I don't know what I'm doing. Same thing sometimes. They walk together toward the silent auction tables, where local businesses have donated everything from restaurant gift cards to spa packages. Sarah stops in front of a display featuring art supplies easels, paint sets, sketchbooks arranged like treasure. The Art Center donated this, she explains. It's worth about $300. Jack studies the collection. High-quality supplies, the kind Anna used to dream about when she was taking community college art classes before Lily was born. Professional brushes, tubes of paint in colors he can't name, paper so thick and textured it seems to glow under the festival lights. Someone's going to be very happy. I hope so. I put in a bid myself. For your classroom? For a student who shows exceptional promise and could use encouragement to pursue her artistic interests, Jack understands, feels something warm and uncomfortable settle in his chest. Sarah, I can't afford. You're not bidding on it, I am. As a teacher investing in a student's future, that's too much. Jack, she turns to face him fully. Sometimes accepting help isn't about what you can afford. It's about what your daughter deserves. Before he can argue further, Lily runs up with Tyler still in tow, both of them breathless and exhilarated. Ms. Martinez, did you see my elephant? Tyler won it for me. I did see. It's magnificent. We want to do the cakewalk next. Daddy, do you have tickets? Jack pulls out the strip of tickets he bought at the entrance, tears off several for Lily. She takes Tyler's hand and they race toward the gymnasium where music is already starting. They're quite a pair, Sarah observes. Who would have thought? Kids are resilient. Adults are the ones who hold grudges. They follow the children inside, where 20 numbered squares are taped to the floor, and a volunteer with a microphone is explaining the rules. Parents and kids position themselves on various numbers while someone operates an ancient boombox playing classic rock. Number 7. The announcer calls, and a kindergartner jumps up and down with excitement before selecting a chocolate cake from the prize table. Jack finds himself standing next to Sarah as they watch the next round begin. Lily has positioned herself on number 13, clutching Tyler's hand for luck. The music starts Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond and the participants begin their careful walk around the squares. She's having fun, Sarah says quietly. Yeah, first time in a while. What about you? The question catches him off guard. Jack considers it, watching his daughter laugh as she and Tyler nearly collide with another pair of kids. I forgot what this felt like. What? Normal. Being part of something instead of just surviving it. The music stops. Number 4. Lily looks disappointed but claps politely for the winner. She and Tyler choose new numbers for the next round. Jack, can I ask you something? Sure. What was Anna like? The question should hurt, but somehow it doesn't. Maybe because Sarah asks it like she really wants to know, not like she's checking off a box marked Acknowledge Deceased Spouse. She was light. That's the best way I can describe it. She could find something beautiful or funny in almost any situation. Made friends everywhere she went. She would have loved this, all the chaos and community and kids being kids. Lily has that quality too. The lightness. She gets it from her mother. She gets it from both of you. The music starts again. Don't Stop Believin'. This time, and Jack watches Lily navigate the circle with Tyler, both of them singing along to the chorus. She's not afraid anymore, not constantly looking over her shoulder or apologizing for taking up space. She's just a kid at a school festival, holding hands with a friend and hoping to win cake. Number 13. Lily shrieks with delight, jumping up and down before running to the prize table. She studies the options. Carefully chocolate, vanilla, red velvet, lemon before selecting a small bundt cake decorated with orange and yellow flowers. Good choice, the volunteer says. That one's from Miller's Bakery downtown. Lily carries her prize over to Jack and Sarah, beaming with pride. Look what I won. That's beautiful, baby. What kind is it? Lemon with cream cheese frosting. The lady said it's made with real lemons. We'll have to save room for dessert tonight. Can Tyler come over and help us eat it? Jack glances at Sarah, who's watching this exchange with a soft expression. We'd have to check with Tyler's parents. Actually, Jennifer Brennan appears beside them, having apparently followed her son inside. That sounds lovely, if you're sure you don't mind. Of course not. I could pick him up around 8? That works. As they work out the details, Jack realizes he's just made plans for his daughter to have a friend over something that hasn't happened since before Anna got sick. The simple normalcy of it feels revolutionary. The evening continues in a blur of games and food and conversations that feel easier than they should. Jack wins a goldfish at the ping-pong ball toss, much to Lily's delight, loses spectacularly at the strength test, and actually laughs out loud when Sarah gets pie in the face during a fundraising booth run by the 6th grade class. You're enjoying this way too much? She says, wiping whipped cream from her eyes. It's just nice to see someone else covered in food for once. Usually it's me after cooking dinner. What's your specialty? Grilled cheese and tomato soup, spaghetti with jarred sauce. Anything that comes in a box and requires minimal skill. Sounds perfect for 8-year-old taste buds. Anna was the cook. I'm just trying not to give Lily scurvy. Sarah laughs, a real laugh that makes something in Jack's chest loosen. I think you're selling yourself short. As the evening winds down, they find themselves sitting on a bench near the stage, watching Lily and Tyler attempt to master the art of hula hooping while the bluegrass band plays softly in the background. The crowd has thinned somewhat, families with small children heading home for baths and bedtime stories. Thank you, Jack says suddenly. For what? All of it. Believing Lily. Speaking up, tonight, making us feel like we belong somewhere. Sarah is quiet for a moment, watching a group of teenagers attempt to balance on stilts near the food trucks. Can I tell you something? Of course. I've been teaching here for 3 years, and I've never felt like I belonged either. Not really. I love the work, but the social aspects. It's hard being single in a community that's mostly families. So tonight I felt like I had allies. People who understood what it's like to navigate this world alone. Jack studies her profile in the dim light. There's something vulnerable in her admission, something that makes him want to tell her about the loneliness of the past 2 years, the way grief can make you feel invisible even in crowded rooms. "We don't have to be alone," he says quietly. "No," she agrees. "We don't." Lily runs over, breathless and exhilarated, her hair escaping from the crooked braid and her face flushed with happiness. "Daddy, Tyler taught me how to hula hoop." "Want to see?" "Show me." She demonstrates her technique, managing to keep the hoop going for almost 10 seconds before it clatters to the ground. But her smile is so bright it could power the string lights overhead. "That's amazing, baby." Tyler says with practice I could get really good. He's been hula hooping since he was 6. Jennifer appears to collect Tyler, thanking Jack again for the playdate invitation. As the Brennans walk toward their car, Tyler calls back, "See you Monday, Lily. We can practice more at recess." "See you Monday." The easy friendship between them still amazes Jack. 3 weeks ago, he would have said some wounds don't heal, some damage can't be undone. Tonight, watching his daughter wave goodbye to a boy who once made her cry, he's learning that maybe he was wrong about a lot of things. "Ready to head home?" Sarah asks, gathering her jacket and purse. "I think so. This one's going to crash hard tonight." They walk toward the parking lot together, Lily skipping ahead with her elephant and cake, while Jack carries the goldfish in its small plastic bag. The festival is winding down around them, volunteers folding tables, maintenance crew collecting trash, the last few families loading sleepy children into cars. "Sarah?" "Yes?" "Would you like to come over too, for cake and goldfish naming?" The invitation surprises him as much as it seems to surprise her. But it feels right, natural, like the logical conclusion to an evening that's been full of unexpected connections. "Are you sure?" "I'm sure." "Then yes, I'd love to." As they walk to their separate cars, Jack feels something he hasn't experienced in 2 years. The anticipation of an evening that doesn't end with him sitting alone in a quiet apartment while Lily sleeps. Tonight there will be lemon cake and conversation, laughter, and the ordinary magic of people choosing to be together. "Follow me," he calls to Sarah as they reach their cars. "It's not far. Lead the way." The drive home takes 10 minutes through residential streets, quiet with Saturday evening calm. In his rearview mirror, Jack can see Sarah's headlights following steadily behind, and in his passenger seat, Lily hums contentedly while she watches streetlights blur past the window. "Daddy?" "Yeah, baby. This was the best day ever." "Yeah," Jack agrees, pulling into their apartment complex parking lot. "I think it was." The apartment feels different with Sarah in it. Jack sees it through her eyes as they climb the narrow stairs to the second floor. The worn carpet, the slightly crooked handrail, the neighbor's door with its peeling paint and collection of Amazon packages. It's not much, but it's clean and safe and theirs, and that used to be enough. "Home sweet home," Lily announces, fumbling with her keys at their door. She's insisted on carrying everything: elephant, cake, goldfish, and is struggling to balance it all while unlocking the deadbolt. "Here, let me help." Jack takes the goldfish while Lily manages the locks with the serious concentration of someone who's been given important responsibilities. The door swings open to reveal their small living space. Mismatched furniture that came with the apartment. Lily's artwork covering the refrigerator, toys organized in neat bins that Anna bought before she got too sick to care about organization. It's the home of people making do, getting by, doing their best with what they have. Wow. Sarah stands in the doorway, taking it all in. "Lily, is that your painting?" She's pointing to a watercolor hanging on the wall beside the television, known of Anna's pieces from her community college days. Purple irises in a blue vase, simple but somehow luminous in the apartment's warm light. "That's Mommy's," Lily says softly. "Daddy hung it there so we can see it every day. It's beautiful. She painted lots of flowers. Daddy has more in the closet, but he says we have to be careful with them because they're special." Jack feels heat rise in his cheeks. He hasn't told anyone about the paintings wrapped in tissue paper, how he sometimes takes them out late at night when Lily's sleeping and spreads them across the bed like prayers. Art should be seen, Sarah says gently. Maybe we could find frames for some of the others, display them properly? They're not that good, Jack says quickly, just practice pieces. From what I can see, your wife was very talented. Lily beams with pride. She was going to teach me to paint when I got bigger, but then she got sick. Now Miss Martinez teaches me instead. I'm honored to continue her work. They settle in the small kit liverwell while Lily sets up the goldfish bowl she's retrieved from under the bathroom, sink a remnant from a previous pet that didn't survive the chaos of Anna's final months. Jack makes coffee, grateful for something to do with his hands, while Sarah and Lily debate names for their new aquatic friend. What about Sonny? Lily suggests. Because he's yellow. That's a good name, Sarah agrees. Or maybe Leonardo, after the artist? Leonardo da Vinci. Their laughter fills the space, easy and natural. Jack watches from the counter as Sarah helps Lily arrange the tiny plastic castle in the bowl, both of them focused on creating the perfect underwater kingdom. There's something about Sarah's presence that makes the apartment feel less like a place they're hiding and more like a home where people actually live. Daddy, can you cut the cake? Of course. He locates plates and forks, napkins printed with cartoon characters left over from Lily's last birthday. The lemon cake is as beautiful as it looked at the festival, delicate yellow crumb, studded with tiny flowers made of frosting. This is really good, Sarah says after her first bite. Miller's Bakery knows what they're doing. Everything tastes better when you win it, Lily announces with the authority of someone who's just discovered this truth. That's very wise. They eat in comfortable silence, the kind that settles over people who've moved past the need to fill every moment with conversation. Outside, the evening is growing late, and Jack can hear the sounds of their neighbor's television through thin walls, a couple arguing 2 floors up, someone's music playing too loud. Tyler's mom seems nice, Sarah observes. Yeah, not what I expected. What did you expect? Jack considers this. Someone defensive, entitled, making excuses for her kid's behavior. And instead, someone trying to figure out how to help her son be better. Lily looks up from her cake. Tyler's sad because his parents don't love each other anymore. Where did you hear that? Jack asks. He told me. At recess. He said that's why he was mean before, because he was angry about his parents fighting all the time, and he didn't know how to feel better, so he tried to make other kids feel bad too. Sarah nods thoughtfully. That's very mature of Tyler to recognize that pattern. His counselor helped him figure it out. He says sorry doesn't fix everything, but it's a good place to start. Jack marvels at his daughter's capacity for forgiveness, her ability to hold space for Tyler's pain while protecting her own healing. 8 years old, and she already understands things about human nature that took Jack decades to learn. Speaking of sorry, Lily continues, I have something to show you. She disappears into her bedroom and returns with a piece of paper, a drawing made with crayons and markers. It shows 3 stick figures holding hands outside a building labeled School. The figures have names written underneath in careful block letters. Lily, Daddy, Manuspress. Martinez. I made this for you, she says, handing it to Sarah, because you helped us when we needed help. Sarah studies the drawing with the seriousness it deserves. In it, all 3 figures are smiling, and there are flowers scattered around their feet, like confetti. This is one of the most beautiful gifts I've ever received. Really? Really. I'm going to frame it and put it on my desk at school. Lily glows with pride, and Jack feels something shift in his chest, a loosening of the protective walls he's built around their small family. For 2 years, it's been just him and Lily against the world, a unit of 2 learning to survive without their missing third. Tonight, looking at Sarah's face as she admires his daughter's artwork, he realizes that maybe they don't have to stay a unit of 2 forever. I should probably get going, Sarah says eventually, glancing at the clock on the microwave. It's getting late, and someone has school tomorrow. Do you have to? Lily asks, and Jack hears his own thoughts reflected in her voice. I'm afraid so, but I'll see you bright and early Monday morning. Will you hang up my picture? First thing I do when I get to school. They walk Sarah to the door, Lily carrying Leonardo da Vinci's bowl and chattering about plans for the week ahead. Art class on Tuesday, a field trip to the library on Friday, the possibility of starting at the Community Arts Center if Jack can figure out the logistics. "Thank you," Sarah says to Jack as she gathers her jacket and purse. "For tonight. For letting me be part of this. Thank you for wanting to be part of it." They stand in the doorway for a moment, and Jack realizes he doesn't want her to leave. Not because he's attracted to her, though he's beginning to admit that he is, but because her presence makes their small world feel bigger, more possible. "Sarah? Yes? Would you like to do this again sometime? Not necessarily festival night, but dinner? Coffee? Something normal?" Her smile is soft, genuine. "I'd like that very much." "Good. I'll call you. I'll answer." After she leaves, Jack helps Lily get ready for bed, teeth brushed, pajamas on, Leonardo's bowl positioned where she can see it from her pillow. She's exhausted but wired, full of the day's excitement and the promise of new friendships. "Daddy?" "Yeah, baby?" "Do you like Miss Martinez?" The question is innocent, curious, but Jack hears the deeper inquiry underneath. Lily's processing the evening, trying to understand the new dynamics in their carefully ordered world. "I do like her. Is that okay with you?" "I think so. She's nice to me, and she makes you smile more." "I haven't been smiling much lately." Lily considers this with 8-year-old honesty. "Not like you used to. Not like when Mommy was here." The observation hits harder than criticism would have. Jack sits on the edge of her bed, smoothing her dark hair away from her face. "I've been sad since Mommy died. Sometimes when grown-ups are sad, they forget how to be happy. But you can remember?" "I think so. With help." "Ms. Martinez helps?" "Yeah, she does." Lily nods, satisfied with this explanation. "I think Mommy would like her." "You do?" "Mommy liked people who were kind to us. Ms. Martinez is kind to us." Jack leans down to kiss her forehead, marveling at her wisdom, her generous heart, her ability to make space for new people without forgetting old loves. "I love you, Lily Liverwell." "I love you too, Daddy." He turns off her light but leaves the door cracked, the way she likes it. In the hallway, he can hear her humming softly to herself the same song Anna used to sing, the one about finding your way home. In the Kit Liverwell, Jack cleans up the cake plates and coffee cups, tasks that feel less lonely tonight. Through the window, he can see other apartments lit up like dioramas, families finishing their own Saturday nights, kids being tucked into bed, adults settling in front of televisions or computers or books. His phone buzzes with a text message. "Sarah, thank you for a wonderful evening. Lily is lucky to have you." He types back, "We're both lucky to have you in our corner." Her response comes quickly. "Looking forward to many more corners together." Jack sets the phone aside and walks to the living room, where Anna's painting hangs on the wall. Purple irises in a blue vase, painted by hands that will never hold a brush again. For 2 years he's looked at this painting and seen only lost what's missing, what can never be replaced. Tonight, he sees something different. The flowers aren't just beautiful, they're alive with color and possibility. Anna painted them during a happy time, when she was dreaming of a future filled with art and family and love. She couldn't have known that future would be shorter than expected, but she painted it anyway, bold and bright and full of hope. Maybe that's what moving forward looks like. Not forgetting the love that came before, but making space for the love that might come next. Not replacing what was lost, but allowing new beauty to exist alongside old memories. In her bedroom, Lily's humming has quieted to soft breathing. Leonardo da Vinci circles his small kingdom, exploring plastic castles and artificial plants with the dedication of someone discovering a new world. Jack turns off the lights and checks the locks, the nightly routine that marks the end of another day survived, another step forward in the long journey of learning to live again. But tonight feels different, not just survived, but genuinely lived. He thinks about Sarah's laugh, Lily's joy, Tyler's unexpected kindness, Jennifer Brennan's sincere apology. The way a community can reveal itself, not in grand gestures but in small acts of recognition and care. In his bedroom, Jack pulls out his phone and does something he hasn't done in 2 years. He opens his contacts and scrolls to the community art center number Sarah had sent weeks ago. He doesn't call it's too late, and Monday will be soon enough, but seeing it there, a possibility waiting to be activated, feels like hope. Tomorrow will bring the ordinary challenges of single parenting, getting Lily ready for school, packing lunch, helping with homework, bedtime negotiations. But it will also bring the extraordinary gift of watching his daughter bloom under the attention of teachers who see her clearly, friends who value her kindness, and adults who understand that protecting children means more than keeping them safe. It means helping them believe they deserve good things. As sleep approaches, Jack allows himself to imagine possibilities. Saturday, art classes and family dinners, conversations that extend beyond the necessities of daily life. The gradual construction of a world where Lily can grow up feeling seen and valued and loved by more than just her father. It won't be the life they planned when Anna was alive, painting flowers and dreaming of teaching their daughter to mix colors and find beauty in ordinary moments. But it might be something good in its own right, different, but good. Outside his window, the world continues its ancient rhythm of ending days and beginning nights, of people finding their way home to whatever love awaits them there. Jack closes his eyes and lets that rhythm carry him toward sleep, toward tomorrow, toward the patient work of building a life worth living, one small brave choice at a time. The last thing he thinks before sleep takes him is this: Anna would be proud of them both, of Lily's resilience and kindness, of his willingness to let new people into their carefully guarded world. And in the morning, when Lily wakes up singing and Leonardo da Vinci greets the day with enthusiastic swimming, Jack will be ready to continue the work of living, not just surviving, but actually living in a world that suddenly feels full of unexpected grace.